Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you join us for the final week of regular season competition in the PEC. Boise State is ready to go up against Ohio State in Rocket League tonight. But before we get to that, as is customary at the beginning of each PEC week, we start out with the PEC Preshow, and we've been having program directors with us over the past couple of weeks. I'd like to welcome back Joe Jackal, and then welcome new Danny O'Connell from Kansas, and our own Doc Haskell for Boise State University, all ready to talk to us about the expectations for the final week of competition. Now, I'm going to be talking throwing it out to Joe Jacko first. At the beginning of the last week, when you were talking about matches you're really looking forward to, you brought up the Valorant match, specifically against Syracuse. We have a clip from last week where you brought that up.
Yeah, so for Valorant, standings are extremely close between us and Syracuse. Both teams are looking to be about 3-2 or about 3 wins and 2 losses. What's important here is really playoff seeding and the tiebreaker head-to-head going into the LAN. I think setting up for seeding into the final matches will be really, really important. And so when we're playing against Syracuse in this final week 7, that stands to, I think, the test of what the LAN will hold up to be. So really excited for the match. We've got some star players that have really shown over the course of the season, specifically Andre or Ondo. I want to shout him out. He's had 30 bomb kills in multiple games and series. So just really excited to watch him play in a final and really important match of the season, of the regular season, before we head to Vegas.
All right, Joe, it's been a week since then. It's now time for the competition to be held. Are you feeling more positive, less positive? How are you feeling the week of your chances against Syracuse and Valorant?
Sure, thank you, Jacob. This week is easy for us. We came off a fresh win, or this question is easy for us. We came off a fresh win beating UCI in quarterfinal playoffs for West Conference within CVAL. So we're feeling extremely confident. Our players are more practiced than ever. We've got some pretty unique strats around the Odin and things that we do that are very particular to our team, and we like to play the game a certain way. We've got a star-studded shot caller in Josh Shizzle. We've got some incredible aimers in Andre, like I previously mentioned. Some of our players are just incredibly talented as individuals, and I think when they come together to strategize, they're incredibly intelligent students who work to build a team that I'm uniquely proud of.
All right, talking about confidence and how you feel, Danny, I wanted to get to you. This is your final week also for you of competition, and last week you faced off against Boise State University and put in a respectable showing. You took the Rocket League team to overtime. You took a round off of the Overwatch squad. One of the Valorant games was 11-13. It could have gone either way, and you won the Smash Bros. So your team across all different games put in a good showing against the Broncos. Do you think this is the start of maybe some a wave of momentum heading into the finals?
Well, I certainly hope so. It would be good timing for it. But I really think it's just a case of, one, I think we do generally get up for playing against Boise. I think all of our players know how, the caliber of teams they put out there. And it's also a test that, it's been a long season and these players and teams have developed. Specifically want to shout out our Rock League team that saw a big shift in what the team looked like from the fall. We had 2 somewhat unprepared for departures for that team, so we've had to fill those spots, but they've done well, and they're fighting through a tough schedule, but they've shown some growth, and they're very excited for Vegas.
All right, Doc, we have got the final week of competition. Boise State is a team that demands a lot of respect in the PEC and esports, and it has been a good season for Boise State, but of course there's always room for improvement. We brought up last week about Boise State's struggles against Michigan State and Rocket League. There's also been some unfortunate losses in the Valorant squad. I'm going to phrase this question in 2 ways. Is there anything, since we're kind of getting into the last week, hindsight is 2020, all that sort of stuff, is there anything we wished that we could have tweaked in the past season? Or, if you'd rather phrase it positively, what are we doing from here until the finals to ensure that some of the troubles throughout the regular season don't happen again?
Well, yeah. I mean, the truth is, this is a really good group of schools. It's Power Esports Conference for a reason, and everybody has the ability to beat just about everybody else. No where is that more evident than in the matches or maps we have dropped to teams where our guys probably were a little bit confident, a little bit lazy going in. And if you don't respect your opponent, if you don't think they can beat you, they will. And we've got to be a lot better about that. We dropped games because we were not prepared for those games. And as coaches, it starts with us. Did we not prepare them enough? Did we not put enough pressures? Is there not enough support around game time to get them dialed in to do it? But we have to be able to be fully prepared, or the season's just over like that.
Well, Joe, I want to throw it back to you. You know, I wanted to get a sort of follow-up from last week, because as this season ends, you know, as we're getting prepared to head to Vegas and write the final chapter in the first season of the PEC esports, we have been talking a lot about the future and what it might hold. Last week, we talked about potential additions to PEC, who we'd like to see join in. We have this clip from last week also, very tactfully put, as always, by Joey Gariziak, as he just said, anyone from the AAC. We mentioned Minnesota State and the AAC. But I also noticed that there was no one mentioned west of the Rockies. And so since University of Southern California, this is your wheelhouse, what do you think from your region? You know, any teams on the west side of the country that you think deserve a shout out and you'd like to see added to the mix?
You know, based on my previous experience working with these directors, I think my best answer to this question would be AJ from University of Utah. I think he's fantastic, and I think he would be a good fit. I think University of Oregon, Billy over there has been great in my experience with him, both in PAC-U as well as in the Big Ten now. And then last but not least, I think Glenn and the University of Washington over there have been fantastic. But I think their programs are respectable. They all have really good directors that are involved in the student side of the program. They understand all the games and titles that we play. And I think that their school and their prestige level is really fitting for this conference. So those three in particular, I think, hit those marks.
Well, I got to ask Joe while he's here, what do you think about San Jose State?
San Jose State is, really good. Previously, I think they were a student-run program for a long time. Yeah. I'm not sure, their director level.
Gabriel Eckenroth was a player for Maryville, Azog, top-level League of Legends player.
Sure.
And I'll tell you what, there ain't none of us that want to play them right now. They're good in just about everything.
Yeah, and I think that their program being previously student-led, as far as I'm aware, I think that that's the right way to do it. I think there's a student base that cares about the game, and so I think that especially when a team can do league, it means that they really care about practice and that they have really talented players individually, and often it spreads from league to other games. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they know where to find the nerds.
Sure. Myself included. Yeah.
You do.
Well, I have to say, Danny, Doc just brought up, we kind of want to see San Jose State University, but we also don't, because they're just that good at games. So swapping it over to teams that we actually might want to face, I mean, the biggest thing we're looking forward to after this week is over is going to be the grand finals at HyperX Esports Arena in Las Vegas. The whole season up until now has been remote, with teams competing from some from home, some from their university facilities. But once we get to LAN, if there's one team in the PEC that you were most looking forward to seeing in person and competing against in person, who's that going to be?
I think it will vary depending on what team you ask for us. For our Overwatch guys, I think they really want to see Boise, both in person, just seeing the guys, but also I think they want another shot with them. We lost 3-1 last week, and I think they felt they could have made it closer, if not win that series. And then I know specifically for our Rock League team, we have a player who's actually from Syracuse. So he has a fun time playing them, and I think he'll enjoy seeing what they're doing over there.
All right, Doc, the final question goes to you, and it's addressing a little bit of a kerfuffle that happened last week. I understand we have the clip from what happened last week. Joey Gariziak always mixing things up a little.
God, I hate to do this. This is like chalk. I got to go Boise, Michigan State. No, it's the final. It's like the Super Bowl. It's the final nobody wants to see. People will be tuning in. It's like, all right, these guys should be there. It's fine. It's Kansas City and Philadelphia all over again. So I'm gonna go Boise, Michigan State for Rocket League.
Well, I think on that note, we're just gonna have to end it right there as we shut on down. We still have more esports. So, Doc, obviously that was the best you could do in that situation. Just turn off the monitor. You weren't on the panel, but now that you're officially on the panel in the pre-show, I'm going to give you the opportunity to convince us why we should be excited for Boise State in the finals. Or if you simply want to put Joey back in his place, you can do whatever.
Well, I don't need to help Joey get back in his place. He seems to get there on his own. The value of seeing the Boise State, Michigan State, and the reason that it is so compelling, I would think, to anybody else, is that Boise State is a multiple-year CRL team, CRL Worlds qualifier. Bennett was in 2 national championship matches last year, didn't come out on top of either one against Northwood or Ball State, but that's a big deal. And when Michigan State knocks them out, both games 3-2 in favor of Michigan State, it really creates, I think, some interest for folks to see if they can do it a third time. There shouldn't be anybody except me and the parents of our players screaming for Boise State in that game. I would think everybody would want to see Cinderella come out on top with a PEC victory in Rocket League. Everyone except us, of course. But I think that's why people would want to see that one.
Well, that's all yet to be decided. One last chance to look back at the first season of the PEC. Just a rapid-fire question to all of you. I'll go Joe, then Danny, then Doc. But just any moment or any particular match that has stood out to you above the rest in the regular season that you're just still looking back at and going, boy, that was a great game, win or loss. Joe, how about you?
For me, it's the games where the directors talk about it afterwards. I think this is a unique conference in that that's happened a couple times. Specifically, Doc, I think the Valorant match we talked a little bit about afterwards. Danny, I think we played you guys in Overwatch and we chatted about it. And I think, to me, that's the most worthwhile part about this conference. And it makes me want to compete year over year. It makes our students invested because they hear, Boise talk trash about the Valorant team, and it's like, we really want to play them at LAN. We can't wait, right? Like that kind of thing. Not saying that talk trash, Doc. That's not the point. But the real point being, I think that creates an investment in the conference, and it's really exciting for our players. And I think when it trickles down, either from the director or when I hear it from the players and I bring it to the directors meeting, I think vice versa, it works, and it makes us really invest in the conference itself.
All right, how about you, Danny?
Yeah, for one game specifically was like at the very beginning of this semester. It was for week 1 of PEC against Syracuse. First game of that week was Rock League, and we were showcasing what to us was basically a new Rock League team, and I was really curious on how they were going to show up. We ended up winning that series, and that was just huge for them as like a starting point for playing in the spring semester with basically a new team with all new players. So really, it was pretty early in the semester, but it was a big moment for I think that team to grow into where they are now, as getting a win with basically their first time playing together.
Well, now we see where the seeds of Joey's comment last week were planted. The season just got off to that sort of start. Now, Doc, how about you to close us out?
Yeah, there are a ton of really memorable moments for me. The one time that I got pretty emotional on stage, we'd had to bench one of our starting Overwatch players, and I won't mention which team it was, but we ended up starting a different grouping, which included both of our female starting players, and we struggled early. But watching that team come together, overcome problem after problem, focus fight after fight after fight, on the same outcome, and then we're able to come out on top of that match, that was maybe my proudest moment. Certainly the most memorable. I won't ever forget that one because coaches know when the people do the thing that you believe that they can do that they haven't bought into yet, and then they believe it, that's a pretty special moment. Now, PEC has allowed us to play really meaningful matches against schools that we love and respect, and this is going to just be amazing in Vegas. All sorts of different schools are going to come out on top in ways that maybe other people don't anticipate. There's no one school running the table in everything. It is going to be, I would not be surprised if each of the championship games are just different combinations and everybody's represented. It's a really good group top to bottom across 4 games.
It's a great group, and we still got 1 week left of regular competition to get to, so we are going to take a short break and then be back with Boise State's matchup against Ohio State in Rocket League. One final thank you to Doc, Danny, and Joe for joining us. Wishing all of your teams the best of luck in your matches. We'll be back after this short break, so don't go away. Rocket League right after this.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight, you join us for the final Week 7 of PEC competition. Boise State is slated go up against Ohio State, and we start things off, as always, with Monday Rocket League. We've got our team all set up on stage, as you can see, and we have got an audience here to cheer them on here in the arena, and we have also got us two. By us two, I mean your host, Jacob Palmer, and I've also got Danner Hill up with me on the caster's desk. Call all the action for you here tonight. Now, Danner, the thing that really stood out to us last week about Boise State and their Rocket League performance was really how Gabriel Reynolds Gill stepped up to the equation, how reliable he is as that crucial third man. Kind of explain us kind of in Rocket League terms what the third man means, what you want to see him doing, how important is he, and how is Gill so good at that role?
The third man in Rocket League is your rock. It's your foundation in the backfield that can hold down anything. I mean, you have your two offenders. You have Woozy and Preston trying to make plays, trying to make solo plays, doing all that they can to get an offense going. And then he's just there to fill in the holes. He's there to make follow-up shots, trying to get goals. We saw that a bunch last week, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a bunch more this week. But it's just a lot of making sure that your back end is covered, you're filling in the holes, and everything flows.
Well, we've been mentioning them enough by name, but let's give them the official shout-out that they deserve and see the opening lineup for our Rocket League match tonight. But before we do that, we will give them some advice on how they can win, and those will be in the form of Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. That's to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. It's all brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting with over 90 years of combined experience. They're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. If you're ready to transform your space, visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule a free estimate. And also, as we mentioned earlier, we've got the opening lineup. It's going to be Kate Hall as Woozy, Gabriel Reynolds as Gill, and then we've got Preston Ferrante as a Preston.
Very strong lineup. We got to see just a glimpse of what they could bring last week. I mean, 3 games, one of them went to overtime, that game 3. But I mean, overall, they play really well together. Even though this is the second week with Gill in for Durtho, I mean, they're really well synergized and they play really well.
Well, to give you an overview of where the Broncos stand, they currently sit at a 5-1 scoreline. The only loss they had was at the very beginning of the season against Michigan State, but they've won 5 straight games since then. The question is, can they finish it off positively in Week 7 and make their scoreline 6-1, securing some high seeding going on into the playoffs? And I think the ultimate question hovering over everyone's heads is, will they get a rematch against Michigan State, maybe in the grand finals, to decide it all in Rocket League in the PEC Grand Finals, which will be happening soon in Las Vegas. But right now, we've got to finish out the final week of competition. Boise State all ready to go, and the match is underway with Preston getting the first tap on the kickoff.
Woozy's grabbing off the sidewall, grabbing mid. Gonna follow this in, send it mid in the corner. Not going to happen. Preston trying to push up with the boost he has. You can see Gill just waiting, trying to see what Woozy's going to do. He's going to push out back to the other side. Corner now where Woozy's going to collect. Trying to get this one out mid for a teammate. He's going to get it mid, but no teammate found. And Boise State is to try and get an offense running. They want to try and get that first goal on the board. They want to try and get up in the lead early.
Preston now ready to contest against Eagles. Manages to get a good shot back to mid. Cosmo tries to block it. Woozy doesn't get the contact he was looking for. Gill with a pass to Preston. Now off to Woozy on the goal. Off the crossbar. Can Boise State follow up? Gill trying to make it. Preston off the crossbar again. And Woozy will be there with the final tap in for Boise State's first goal.
And that's what I'm talking about. Follow up, follow up, follow up. That's the kind of offense you want to see out of this Boise State team. And just like that, they made sure to really press that defense down. And there you go, Boise State up 1-0.
Still plenty of time left, though. 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Face off. Boise State. Preston gets the better of the 50. Eagles with the customary follow-up. Plays it off the ceiling. Woozy spikes it down to the ground. Cosmo tries to make contact. In goes Preston. Now going for the flip reset. Able to pull it off. Now to Gill in the corner. Trying to find the centering. Eagles now on a quick counterattack. Shot on Boise State's goal, and it doesn't connect at the very last moment. Woozy comes through with the save.
What a save. And then Gill coming in for the follow-up. Making sure that stays out of their net. And out of the way of harm. Bungo now sending one from the corner, sending it out. Woozy with a great clear. Gill is going to grab that mid boost and push up. Try to play slow. Forces Cosmo to jump. Preston putting one on target. Gill maybe following up. He's going to put it on, but he's going to bounce off that post. Now Preston has to race back. Play on Eagles. Field with a great demo. Opens up space. Preston gonna take it up high. Pass out to Woozy. Taking it to the backboard. Eagles and Cosmo both commit. And it's going to be worth it, saving it out. Putting Ohio State just one step closer to maybe getting something on, but Preston trying to get another shot on. Won't land. Boise State still in the lead.
3 minutes left. Eagles now with possession of the ball. Preston will block it. Now puts one off the wall. Woozy to follow up. Bungo takes it away from him. Fierce fighting in midfield to see who's going to gain control. Boise State doesn't want to find the shot on goal, but Woozy getting demoed. Can they still keep up pressure in his absence? He's now respawned. Preston puts one right above the goal. Eagles with the backboard defense. Bungo, what a redirect back to mid. And Boise State still looking for a second goal, narrowly holding on to a lead as we pass halftime.
Past halftime, but I've got to say they've been looking dominant this whole time. They're the ones that have been holding the offense. It's just a matter of putting more shots on, trying to press that Ohio State defense down. Gill trying to send one to the backboard, not going to happen. Woozy, he's going to take all the time in the world in this one, sending it out, pass out to Preston. It's going to connect from the corner, mid, and it's going to go in for Woozy. Boise State up 2-0.
You can see here just a great game of distraction being pushed off over to the corner. Woozy is able to distract both Cosmo and Eagles. None of them hide on back post, which leaves it wide open for Woozy to follow up.
Preston now from the corner. He's going to get around a few. All he has to do is play around Eagles. Pop up.
Fake
down. Doesn't even use the reset if he got it. He can do it all himself.
It can be so hard to predict where your opponent is going to go if they've got full control of the ball. Right off the flip reset, he could choose to play high or low. He fakes out Ohio State, goes low, and Boise State is up 3-0. Oh, Bungo with the cheat here. Woozy, okay, he was right there. He read that. Camera made it seem a little bit more of a surprise than it actually was.
Yeah, I'm sure he grabbed that corner boost, and he was well ready to make that save. And now Preston testing that one in the midfield. Cosmo's going to get a beat on that one. No double tap off the sidewall, but a great cut out of Eagles to keep it into play for Ohio State. Buckeyes trying to look for their first goal in this game. Now we're approaching a minute and a half left to this game. It's going to be tight, but with a minute and a half left, I mean, there's plenty of time for Ohio to bring this one back.
Woozy plays off the wall. Bungo pass to Eagles. Bungo will go in on it, but he can't beat Preston to that 50, so the shot is blocked. Cosmo, quick follow-up. Eagles off the crossbar. Bungo doesn't have any boost, but he still plays one on, and Eagles knocks it out of the way at the very last moment. Oh, it could have been a great opportunity. Now turns into a possible Boise State goal with 1 minute left. Gill will play it high, leave it for Woozy, and he finds the goal, gets a hat trick, and puts the Broncos up 4.
You can create opportunities all you want, but Boise State, they're the ones that are capitalizing on them right now. Here in this moment, Boise State, they're going to put up 4 goals to 0. Now under a minute left. They are looking to be the ones on top at the end of this regular season going into Vegas. But now it's Gill from the ceiling. Trying to get her flipper set on target. It's going to go on, but Bungo with the save. And now Woozy from the corner looking mid. Pass out to Preston. Shot on. Saved up by Cosmo. In Ohio, they're just trying to fend off Boise State for these last 40 seconds.
40 seconds, and Preston puts it right in. 2 seconds shy of 40, putting the Broncos up to 5. Just such great control here. Eagles at an awkward angle, can't get the contact, and Boise State show no signs of slowing down. That isn't for a lack of trying, and shots on goals. Ohio State has a respectable 9, but Boise State is just that much more fast and accurate.
Fast, accurate, and, I mean, just being so dominant on the field. I mean, yeah, you said 9 shots, but to Boise State's, what is that, almost 12 shots. It is going to be hard to battle back on this one, but with Game 2 on the horizon and a fresh 5 minutes on the clock, they can be looking forward to hopefully a Game 2 comeback. But for right now, Boise State, they're going to be able to close out Game 1, almost 6-0. Still with an opportunity, but it's going to be sent all the way back to the Boise State side. No time on the clock for Ohio to do anything. And as that ball touches the ground, Boise State, they're going to land themselves the first win of the night.
But like I said, the shots on goal, that's probably the most even stat of the night. Ohio State had a lot of opportunities where they were able to get some offensive pressure, but Boise State just didn't let any of those shots through. Also a shout-out for Bungo, which was the main defender for Ohio State. Got 4 saves this round, most of any of the teams, so nice job to him. But overall for Boise State, just a little bit faster, winning those 50s consistently and setting up opportunities for themselves.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing was that just the constant it was just the aggression on offense. I mean, pass after pass after pass, shot after shot after shot. I mean, after some point, that wall is going to break and a goal is going to go in.
Well, we are off to a good start, but we are not out of the woods yet. These PEC matches are a best of 5, as our audience definitely wants to see Boise State win that as fast as possible. A 3-0 sweep, which they pulled off last week as well. Can they run it back as we head on into Forbidden Temple, the Boise State Broncos versus the Ohio State Buckeyes in the final week of PEC Rocket League. Heading on down to Game 2 with the Boise State Broncos leading 1-0.
And, I mean, that was a great showing in Game 1. Very commanding. I mean, they just didn't let up. I mean, the Buckeyes with 9 shots, but they weren't able to get a goal. That just pays testament to Boise State's defense, something that you don't really talk that much of because you're always focused on the offensive half, looking for those goals, looking for those shots. But going into Game 2 here, I'm really curious to see how Ohio State is going to, adjust and see if they can't get a goal.
First kickoff into Bronco territory. Gill tries to corral it off to the corner. Cosmo beats him to the boost, and can they get a shot in this opening? Boise State has no boost to work with, and they're going to try to take advantage of that as the pass goes through to Cosmo, but the shot isn't accurate, and Ohio State loses what could have been a very good opening volley against the Broncos.
Preston now from the ceiling, pass out mid to Woozy, not going to connect. Bungo trying to get the turnaround shot on that one, putting it on target, but no shot for him, and it's going to go in for Cosmo. Woozy almost made the save, but just not enough.
Broncos just really couldn't recover after that opening kickoff. All the boost on their side of the field was starved, and I thought for sure Ohio State had blown that opportunity, but nope, they'll keep the Broncos on their toes, go up 1. Still plenty of game left to play, 4:28 left.
Bungo winning that one. Woozy, lots of control here. Ooh, gets the figure on 1. Cosmo, the only one left, is trying to get a breezy on it, not going to happen. Sent that to the corner, but does get a bump on the way out. Gill sending one out and actually following up with it. Maybe setting it up for a teammate. No, Eagles is going to be there faster. Preston already pre-jumping that one. Now Woozy catching, taking it to the sidewall. Get in a reset. Not going to use it. Going to fake low. Preston tried to go for a bump. Not going to happen. Good 50s coming out from Bungo to keep it out. And Ohio, they're going to be happy that that one doesn't go in. Still holding the lead by 1.
3:48 left. Preston over Eagles. Bungo defending, and Cosmo will also jump in there to push it off to the side. Gill runs right into Eagles. That leaves it, I thought open for Bungo, but Preston goes right in, wins the 50, takes it away from Ohio. But Woozy can't get a shot on goal. So Boise State will push it off to the corner, try to prevent a centering play as Bungo goes in and almost got Ohio State's second goal as they moved up too far, and this goal is almost scored. Preston now putting the final exclamation mark on that, getting the Broncos dead even.
That was good clear over Cosmo, and Eagles doing all that they can to try and keep that one out of the net, keeping it dead at the post with Preston. He grabs that corner boost, and he has an open net in his face, able to put it wherever he wants. Just like that, Boise State, they're going to tie this up, approaching 3 minutes left.
Uh-oh.
And Ohio are going to win this. Maybe an opportunity. Woozy has to make the save, and he's going to off the post. Now it's Preston's turn on the counterattack.
All right, Boise State trying to dust themselves off from that dangerous situation, but there's still plenty of time left. 182 seconds left on the clock to my count as Eagles trying to make something of this possession, and almost does, but Preston is able to get the save. Now here we go with Bungo. He's looking over the ball, doesn't have anyone to pass to. Preston spends all his boost, and Gill trying to follow up. They'll get a demo onto Eagles, but not much more than that. As a quick follow-up by Cosmo. Might have Boise State moving on back. Woozy now off the backboard, choosing where to pass to. He's just going to take it himself up to midfield, but can't get much quite past that.
Gotta say, Ohio, they've been loitering on this Boise State half. They've really been holding them down. But for now, Boise State, they're going to hold an offense. Woozy trying to get one on target. Not going to happen. Gill collecting. Making it a good 50 with Bungo, but it's going to roll all the way back. Preston is going to have the most boost out of the two of them. Able to get back. and try to get a counterattack going. Great 50. Cosmo trying to go up for a follow to the backboard. No, Woozy's going to get that one up, but Gil also committed, and Preston has to race on back, and he does. Oh, it's just back and forth right now, but once again, Boise State low on resources. They have to get this ball out. They have to try and buy time to get an offense brewing. Great save out of Preston.
Cosmo now rounding the corner, looking at who he can set up, but Preston will drop down. Eagles sets it to midfield. Gil goes in with no boost. Bungo will stop it. Woozy can't get to the 50 in time. Now Eagles trying to pinch off the ground. Preston, Gil has full boost. Preston will get a touch on it, as does Gil, trying to work their way up the field. A nice bump for Boise to try to center it, and Eagles will be there before Boise State can make any sort of shot. Now we have got 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the clock. Boise State looking to get in the lead. And,
Shot by Woozy almost. So he's going to fall to Preston off the sidewall. He's going to get away from him. Gil, shot to the backboard. Followed by Woozy. Not going to happen.
Boise
Plenty
State.
of time.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Plenty of time.
I mean, a little bit paranoid. I mean, there's quite a turnaround from game one where Boise State just blew out Ohio State. But now we've got a 1-1 tie with a minute left. This is what it's all about. And Woozy comes through with the shot on goal to put the Broncos in the lead with a minute left.
I think this is what we've been lacking. We've been lacking the passing plays between Boise State, Preston to Woozy right here. Just one after the other. That's what we need more of. We need more coordination, because those plays is what is going to throw off Ohio State and ultimately keep them in the lead. But now under a minute left, grabbing that lead. Boise State are going to be looking to close out this game too.
Let's just show you how different this game is. The last game, Ohio State actually leads in shots on goal 7-5. Boise State, though, a little bit more quality over quantity, and they almost get another quality shot, but Eagles comes on in with great backboard defense, and now he's on a quick counterattack. Preston just trying to defuse the situation, take it away from him. 30 seconds left as Bungo passes toward the back corner. Now we'll try to play it off the walls. Cosmo goes in for the shot, and Eagles follows up to get this tied up again. Buckeyes still have something to say about this, and scoreboard's loaded with twos. 2-2 with 22 seconds left.
You gotta love it when everything lines up perfectly. Do just those extra touches on those back posts. Made it a little awkward for the defense. Now tied 2-2 with 22 left. Good demo on the kickoff. Preston making a good 50. Woozy has a lot of time, has an opportunity, but no, Bungo's gonna cut that one off. Gil making a great 50 into the corner. Eagles is going to carry this one from his own. Keeping it out. Now down to the last 10 seconds. He's getting over one. Preston with a great save. On a follow-up, Gil sending it, lobbing it downfield. Bungo's going to cut that one off. Woozy from the sidewall, sending it wide. Woozy is going to try and collect it. He's going to try and get it mid for Gil. He's going to put it on target. No, it's going to bounce out to the corner. Bungo, counterattack opportunity. Boise State, they need to kill it right here, right now to keep it. And here we go, overtime, game 2.
Golden goal, one in wins. Who's going to get the winning goal in overtime? Boise State already gaining some ground off the kickoff. Bungo's going to try to follow up. Plenty of time for Boise State to fill up on boost as Preston goes into the corner, but he spends all his boost. Gil tries to sneak one in. Cosmo blocks, now past the Eagles as Ohio State Buckeyes are making their way back up on field, trying to set up for Cosmo. Preston reads the play and is able to get things back to midfield. It's Boise State looking for their clear. Whoa, what a pinch.
Yeah, deal with that coacher, but it's not going to go that far. Woozy has to play a little slow here. Gets around one. Should be able to collect here on the sidewall, making a 50. No boost. Pinches it with Preston. It's going to go all the way back to the Ohio State half. Not going to happen, but Woozy, they're perfectly waiting. Eagles can cut that one off. But instead, Preston's going to grab their corner, make it a little awkward. Preston needs to go for this one. Great touch. Gil with the cutoff to try and send it out. Bungo, though, he's just so fast. He's able to read that one perfectly, trying to keep it in all health. It's half, but it's going to bounce off the post. Gil almost putting in the winner for Boise State. But still, Boise State, they're on the offense.
But they got 2 to commit, and now they don't have any boost to get on back. And Boise's, no, they cannot. Eagles still manages to find a way to get back and get the touch. Now they have boost, and they have chutzpah, but they aren't going to get the third and final goal. Ohio State. We're past the minute mark, and Woozy, the demo completely blocks our shot. But we'll get, thank you to the miracle of replay technology. We can know it's going to take the exact same camera angle. Thanks a lot, game.
I think what happened there was a lead demo out of Gil, and then a perfect flick from Woozy. Puts it into that far right side.
Boise State won.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
They are on match point in Week 7.
But look at that. Shots on goal and ball control slightly in favor of the Buckeyes. This is a completely different match. Now, that being said, Ohio State still has a long road to go if they want to win this match. They got to pull off a reverse sweep. But Boise State is at match point. Can they put it away and end the season probably the best way you can? A 3-0 sweep, setting yourselves up for some great things to happen in Vegas.
Absolutely, and honestly, I think Ohio State has a shot. I mean, look how close they made that game, too. 2-2 all the way into overtime, even making it close in overtime. I mean, that's what you want to see out of these teams, and right now, Ohio, they're fighting.
All right, here we go. Boise State, Ohio State. Third game, and Boise State is at match point. Can they pull off a clean 3-0 sweep and win their final week of PEC regular season competition? Remember, this all factors into seeding going into the grand finals in Vegas. The Broncos, obviously, if they want to go far in the bracket, want to place themselves up high as they can in that seeding. We'll get down to the first kickoff. They're just one goal away from securing a 6-1 record. Can they do it?
I think they can. I mean, it's all going to come down to these last 5 minutes, potentially. Preston cheating up on the kickoff. Trying to get it down mid for a teammate. Woozy with an immediate shot to the far right post. It's going to put Boise State up early.
Preston already committing to mid-air. Woozy, plenty of boost. He just basically went back to get his 100 and immediately put it to use, putting the Broncos up just 6 seconds into Game 3. A very good start.
Good start. They're going to be looking to continue it, though. Woozy cutting that one off, sending it to the backboard. A double into the corner. Actually, another touch after that one. Flips it into the pass to Preston. Not going to happen. Gill, though, he's ready. He's got to play safe, though. Great 50. And that's what you want out of that third man. Making those crucial 50s to make sure that it's not going to go over your head and into your net.
Eagles pass to Bungo. It's on Boise State's post, but Gill gets the save. Follow up by Cosmo, though, and Gill once again being all reliable for the Broncos. They need to find a clear out of this territory, and Cosmo whips his shot. Thankfully for the Broncos, that'll keep them in the lead just by 1. They want to get some insurance goal. It's in this, well, they got it pretty far into Ohio State territory. Maybe this can be the start.
Maybe Gill looking for the double, not going to land, but maybe a pass out to Woozy. Open, he's going to hit it on the crossbar. Preston,
there you go.
Is going to make sure that one doesn't go by the wayside. Boise State up now by 2.
Yeah, that's the common strength of Boise State. They're so disciplined on their rotations that oftentimes they get a 1, 2, 3. All players keep pelting in on the goal until one finally scores. Well, Woozy, almost gets another shot for Boise State. Preston off to the side. Gill pass back to Preston, who might just put it himself for Gill. And the block from Cosmo. This time the block will push it off to the corner, so it gives Ohio State a little bit of time to work with. Eagles ready to go, but can't pass it to anybody. They'll have to move back to midfield, try to stop a full clear from the Broncos.
Gill has to make a perfect 50, and he still has his flip. Keeps it out of the way. Now Woozy's turn. He has about half a tank of boost. He's going to use it all to try and get it clear out. Pass out to mid for Preston, and it's just not going to matter. It's going to roll right on in for Woozy.
Well, sometimes those are the goals you like to see the most. Just kind of you'll take it scenario. Nice, very accurate play, and Eagles just half a second too late to be able to make contact. 3 minutes, 14 seconds left. Boise State leads by 3.
Doesn't have any boost. Preston to the sidewall is going to double it with Bungo. Not going to happen. This one's going to fly across snap, but no, Gill with the last second save, keeping it out. He's bumped into a demo as well. Preston is going to take this one from the corner, trying to look for a pass out mid. Not going to happen. Gill just got bumped out of the wayside. Now Eagles sending it to Cosmo, where he's going to control. Try to get one shot on net. Woozy is able to save it out from the backboard. Now Gill to Preston. Connection, but no real offense brewing out of that one. But still, it's Ohio's turn. Cosmo trying to get one out, but this one's all the way back. Bungo not able to reach it. Preston going to put him up by 4.
But it's also in a situation like this, you can't blame Ohio State too much. They're this far behind and time is ticking down. Sometimes you have to go all in to try to tie it up. And now they're going to have about half a game left to tie this up 4-0. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Tall task, doable, but very hard.
Very hard. I mean, half the game left. There's a lot of time to try and get at least 1 or 2 goals back to start and then have something through from there. But with this Boise State offense so suffocating, it's going to be hard.
Preston off the backboard, picks up his own 100. Bungo unable to set anything up. Nice pass down to midfield where we see a great dribble by Preston. Bosley's making it down. Woozy follow-up, and there's goal 6 for the Broncos.
It's another goal and another hat trick for Woozy. Now mimicking the same scoreline as game 1. But with 2 minutes left and plenty of time to either add more or just to hold this.
Up to the side goes Woozy. Preston waiting to see how things turn out. He moves on back. He's able to get a touch on it after Cosmo's shot. Now Cosmo trying to put it in and will just be too late. Bungo now has a good opportunity and Boise State stops it right at the goal line too. Ooh, last second save, but Boise State sure knows how to pull them off. Now we've just got 1 minute, 30 seconds left and a very healthy 5-goal lead for the Broncos. Maybe they can make it 6 here as Preston just lit too far wide.
Oh, the last second heroics coming out on the goal line. You'll love to see it, but now it's Gill's turn, sending it to the backboard, looking for the pass out to Preston. He's going to pass it to Woozy. Almost gets the connection. But now Ohio State, they're looking for a counterattack offense. Cosmo to the backboard. Gill gets demoed and Preston sees awkward, but it's Woozy. Once again, last second diving heroics. Sends that one out, keeps Boise State up by 5, and that goose egg for Ohio State happening. Cosmo getting another shot onto net. Woozy is going to be able to take it from here in the midfield. Up and 50 with Bungo to the sidewall. Right now, Boise State, I don't think they're going to worry. Now under a minute left in the game, they're feeling pretty confident.
Well, there's definitely been a lot of times when I have called something only for things to go the other way, but in this case, the math just doesn't work out for Ohio State, especially with Gill scoring the 6th goal for Boise State there, 29 seconds. This game seems very well put away.
Very well indeed. Boise State, we're going to close out the PEC regular season 6-0, game 3, 6-1 on the record. They're going to be feeling really good about that one going into Vegas. But right now, we just got 20 seconds left on the clock. Preston with the reset. It's going to go high and wide. Bungo getting a touch out. Gill just making the next 50, sending it wide. Preston trying to read this one in the corner. Not going to happen. And maybe Woozy for the 7th on the road. Not going to happen. He's going to let that clock burn down. And Boise State are going to sweep it in week 7.
Congrats for the Broncos. Maybe put one more goal up there just to make it a 7-0. We're not sure if they can do it. They're running out of boost, but that'll be it. Boise State wins 6-0. Whatever happened in game 2, Boise State certainly rectified, getting the ball back in their favor and scoring a very convincing win in the final week of PEC Rocket League. Great way to end it off with a 3-0 Bronco victory.
Very well played and very well executed. I feel like still having Gill in there for dirt, though, they still play really well, really synergized. I mean, like we saw, 5-0 game 1. I mean, you saw that overtime in game 2, which is totally fine. That can happen. I mean, Ohio they made the adjustments needed, but it just couldn't happen in game 3.
Well, I couldn't think of a better game to close out the PEC, and also a game for an audience to enjoy right there. Nothing like seeing very exciting win for the Broncos, especially, as you said, in Game 2. It just shows that, you know, things can change on a dime, and I am more than certain that things will change between here and Vegas. We're going to see a team surprise us in the playoff run for Rocket League. But as far as things go for this game, that'll wrap things up. We've got the top 5 plays of the game to close you out for the night. And at the contact he was looking for, Gill with a pass to Preston. Now off to Woozy on the goal, off the crossbar. Can Boise State follow up? Gill trying to make it. Preston off the crossbar again, and Woozy will be there with the final tap in.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
plenty of time.
I'm a little bit paranoid. I mean, there's quite a turnaround from game one where Boise State just blew out Ohio State. But now we've got a 1-1 tie with a minute left. This is what it's all about. And Woozy comes through with the... Preston off the backboard, picks up his own 100. Bungo unable to set anything up. Nice pass down to midfield where we see a great dribble by Preston. Possibly spanking it down. Woozy follow-up. And there's goal 6 for the Broncos.
Trying to get her flipper set on target. It's going to go on, but Bungo with the save. Now Woozy from the corner looking mid. Pass out to Preston. Shot on. Saved up by Cosmo in Ohio. They're just trying to fend off Boise State for these last 40 seconds.
40 seconds, and Preston puts it right in. Leaves it wide open for Woozy to follow up.
Now from the corner, he's going to get around a few. All he has to do is play around Eagles. Pop up. Big down.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Idaho's Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance. It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho's Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, and some eagle-eyed viewers who might be watching this broadcast have probably noted I said we were going to close out the night with the top place of the game, and it's a very important and before I was cut off, because that and is an interview with one of our players. We have got Gabriel Gil Reynolds here to talk about that last game, which really was, I mean, the first and third games was kind of what we expected all the way through, but then something really changed in game 2 that just made it stand out night and day. As a player on the ground, what was that thing?
It's hard to say right after the moment because, you know, we did have those games 1 and 3 where everything just worked out perfectly. But I would say probably just not taking control of the ball as much, just banging it. It gave them a lot more opportunities and kept the game closer, you know, gave us less. But in games 1 and 3 when we had those opportunities, it was, you know, as expected, as you said.
Now, Boise State is getting ready to head to Vegas. You know, I cannot think of a player. I cannot think, as we bring up some highlights here, I cannot think of a player that is more well-traveled in Boise State esports, a player who hasn't been in Boise State esports as long as you have. I mean, looking back as you're looking to put another championship under your belt, you know, qualify for CECC Arlington, just like, what's it been like all these years? I mean, just looking all the way back, it's been a long time.
Man, you're going to get me emotional here. Man, it's weird. I'm in 4th year. I don't know. It's definitely been a journey. I don't know how to, like, describe it past that. Just maturing and learning from years 1 to 4, thinking of, you know, who I was when I first got here to the person player that I am now. It's truly a really long look in the mirror over the past 4 years here.
Well, the final chapter hasn't been written yet. We still have this grand final happening in Las Vegas. Boise State getting ready to travel again. And so I'm going to ask you, I mean, is there anything that any sort of routine that you do during a LAN that might not happen in the regular season?
Man, I don't know if I have, like, anything special that I do. Obviously, with LAN, you're there to play, you're there to compete. So for me, just making sure that I get a good night's sleep, it can be kind of tempting, especially with us going to Vegas.
Yeah.
To stay up late or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're there to compete. You're there to represent your school in this program, and that's got to be your main focus through and through.
It's the city that never sleeps, but you sure need to if you want to perform at your best. And we wish you the best of luck in the PEC Grand Finals. Now, that will truly do it for us tonight. So thank you so much, all of you online, for joining us and watching. And we have got plenty of PEC action to bring to you throughout our final week of competition. We'll have Overwatch for you tomorrow. But for tonight, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.